see. Okay, now we should be live on both LinkedIn and YouTube. Okay, I was saying that today I want to share just a few comments about one topic that is relevant to me because it's something that we are facing it as we speak. That is monitoring the progress of migration projects. I think this is extremely important because migration projects involve the company doing the migration, us, the team doing the testing, the stakeholders at the company owning the code base, so that they need to plan for delivery and so on. And so, given there are different roles involved, and the project is typically lasting several months at least, then it requires careful planning. And too often in software projects, and we all know how mature and reliable plans are when it comes to software, too often we rely on estimate, guesses, and so on. And so I think it's important to move away from that and use metrics when we can identify metrics that make sense. And I think that these can help, everybody get a reality check and, look at the same objective reality and not some kind of subjective feeling. It also protects the different people involved from their own maybe mistake or pure decision. Sometimes one may decide to give the message that they're doing better than they are, and it's never a good idea because it always bites you back. While if you're sharing metrics, unless you're a criminal just faking your data, well, that's another matter. But if you're sharing data, there is no place for you to hide. So if you run into a problem, this will become evident to all the parties involved and they could adapt. And so why transparency is scary, I think in the end is beneficial. To do that, we use a pipeline approach. So we have different stages, and for each stage, we have different metrics that we can measure. And this is a side effect of the technologies we use. So we basically can perform a migration in stages, save each intermediate step, and basically extract data from analyzing this stage and measure, the progress that we are doing on different areas. Here, just to show a small example. In this case, this is a migration from EGL. We are showing a list of the constructs that we can migrate. Of course, we need to migrate constructs and idioms. That is another topic, but it's useful to say, at this stage, in this fictional example, we are translating 20 constructs, 15% of the constructs, and these are the exact constructs. Of course, every matrix only presents some simplification with respect to this reality. For example, here we are considering all the constructs as if they have the same kind of complexity, and this is certainly not the case. However, the alternative will be to assess the complexity of each different constructs to have more weights and so on to determine, where we are in the migration. But that will introduce in a metric that while as limits it is objective, if we use our estimates to associate a different weight to different constructs, we will make this metric subjective with all the risk connected to this. So there are no perfect metrics. There is always the opportunity to improve your metrics. But I think that having one that is as objective as possible, it's a good starting point. And sadly, if we look at the reality in which software development projects are run, I think with respect to that reality, having a metric that is not perfect, and in this case more than one metric, it's already, in my opinion, a huge step forward. So I think we should do more of this, and having real data, having discussion, and adapt based on what the data tell us. Okay, that is it for today. As always, if you have comment, questions, doubts, please feel free to comment, share, or reach out. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye.